We are now live online through our YouTube channel, and I'm gonna start the recording. So we're ready whenever you are, Luis, to begin.
Okay, let's wait at least few minutes because the people has not arrived at the conference room, but apparently they are coming now. So I'm waiting. I am waiting for them. Maybe 5 minutes. Hey, Carlos. Okay. Carlos dice que ya vienen subiendo. Tráelos obligados. Tráelos obligados. Ajá. Que la gente se dispersa. No está. Apparently the launch was a little delayed because the restaurant was full. So now we are calling all the people into the room. Hey. Dale. 5 minutes, Tani. We are going to wait 5 minutes.
Okay, understood.
In 5 minutes.
From now.
From now.
Okay.
Yeah. And did you have lunch?
No, actually, cereal.
Okay.
I ate the cereal. So that's nearest restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Sí, ¿verdad? Y la sede de la universidad es linda. Uh-huh. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for attending this panel in the CARLA 2022 conference. I will do some introductions about the topic we are going to talk today, and also introducing our panelists in order to begin our conversation about the potential cooperation with Asia in high-performance computing, and trying to set the framework of the reason of the relevance of this activity, in particular this year. Let me go first to mention the panelists briefly. 1 second, I'm going to look for the information in my phone. So we have today several representatives interested in this cooperation between both continents. I will mention them in the order they are going to make their interventions. We have first Professor Toshihiro Hanawa, information from the Information Technology Center in the University of Tokyo. Professor Hanawa earns a PhD degree in computer science from Keio University in Tokyo, Japan, and is an active researcher in HPC computing, and also related to the capacities and infrastructure that the Tokyo University has. We have also with us Hyunho Choi, who is the Executive Officer of the Trans-Eurasia Information Network Cooperation Center. He is a PhD candidate and is, as I already mentioned, the current Executive Officer of the Trans-Eurasia Information Network Cooperation Center. We have also with us Professor Hashuan Fu. He is from the Department of Earth System Science at Tsinghua University in China. He's a Deputy Director of the National Supercomputing Center in Wuxi and leading Research and Development Division. And finally, we have Patricio Rey, who is present here with us. Patricio is the General Manager of Desarrollo País, and Desarrollo País is the organization which is promoting and working in fostering this project, the Cable Onboard project, which is expected to build a new submarine cable connecting directly Asia with Latin America. And in fact, in the framework of this project, the academic networks in the world, in particular the national research and education networks and the regional research and education networks of Asia and Latin America, are very interested in evaluating the opportunity to have capacity in this cable to provide additional support to the cooperation between Asia and Latin America. It has several benefits. One of them is obviously this direct connection that we go apparently, and probably Patricio will talk about this a little more later, probably from Valparaiso to Tahiti, and interconnect with another cable over there that is going to be used to be connected to Australia, New Zealand. Is another route also to go to North America, and the way to go to mainland Asia, in particular Japan and other countries, and Singapore also. No? So right now the project is in a process of receiving a first proposal for the building of the cable, and the idea and the expectation is to begin soon the building of this cable, and probably having this new cable operating in a framework of more or less 2 years. So for me, it's a really and a great pleasure to be coordinating this panel, and I hope the discussion here and the talk that we are going to begin can support us in the goal and in the aspiration of complementing the connectivity of Latin America to the rest of the world through this cable that is going to be very essential, as I already mentioned, to have additional routes from Asia to Africa, from Asia to Europe, from Asia to other parts of the world, and with the expectation that we have of being able to build a new cable connecting Chile to Antarctica. It could be the first connection and the first gateway to get information and to connect the scientific community in the Antarctic. So thank you very much and welcome, and please, Professor Toshihiro, go ahead with your presentation.
Okay. So thank you for introduction. So I'm Toshihiro Hanawa from the University of Tokyo, and it is my pleasure to be here.
I'm sorry we stopped hearing you. Thank you.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, so firstly, I would like to briefly introduction our Information Technology Center, University of Tokyo. So our center is also campus-wide or nationwide service on infrastructure for information related research and education. And so this center consists of the 4 research divisions, and so one division is a supercomputing research division. Actually, so our division is a long history, over 50 years, and so oldest academic supercomputer center in Japan. And so, as I mentioned, so we are operating and the services of supercomputer systems for the nationwide, and so joint use facility as a joint use facility, not just for our university. And so I will talk this project later. Okay.
Professor, I'm sorry, you mute yourself, you mute your computer.
Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So
Now it's okay.
HPC has 2 meanings. One is a consortium. So this is a joint collaboration, user communities and the resource providers. And also frequently we have issued a proposal for the government. And also this is the infrastructure itself. And so the HPCI consists of these elements. So the first one is a national flagship system. For example, K, a previous generation of Fugaku, and also currently Fugaku system in the weekend RCCS Kobe. And so second tier systems consist of the 12 systems, and 9 are the national universities like this, and 3 are the Jamstack Earth Simulator, AIST, ADCI, for the another institute. And also we have 2 large-scale shared storage. So for each 50 petabyte at the East Hub and the West Hub, and so we operate automatically the generate replication between the East part and the West part. And so this is also our facilities. So now we operate 2 systems, Oakbridge CX and Wisteria BDEX01. And so in last fiscal year, by this March, Oak Forest Park system was also operated. Okay, so these are in detail, I will talk later. Okay, and so this is also location of our center. So originally we had a building at the Tokyo area near the Hongo, and the Hongo and the Komaba are located in Tokyo. But so electricity shortage, due to the electricity shortage, so recently we have 2 campuses in Chiba, so near the Tokyo area. And so we have a Kashiwa campus, Oakbridge CX system is located, and also we installed the neural system in the Kashiwa 2 campuses. So Wisteria BDX01 and MDX are located. And also, actually, so in this campus, ABCI system are located near our building. And also that this is our building. And also, actually, so right half part is located by the NII, National Institute of Informatics. So operates a network, science academic network. Okay, and so this is also another story of the collaboration between ours and the University of Tsukuba, named the ZCA HPC Joint Center for Advanced High Performance Computing since 2013. And so we would like to combine the budget from the 2 universities to get a much larger system and also the efficient operation. So as a result, so we could get the #1 system in Japan at that time. So the 25 petaflops Intel night landing system is a 8,200 nodes. And so this is actually played the role as a national flagship system instead of K, and also by the installation of Fugaku. Okay, so this is another organization, JHPCN. So very name is complicated, but so JHPCN is a joint research center for the interdisciplinary large-scale information infrastructures. And so this consists of the 8 national universities, include our universities. And so University of Tokyo is a core institute of this project. Okay, and so recently in this project, MDX data platform is newly added. So this system aims at information infrastructure created mainly to accumulate and utilize knowledge related to data science. Okay, so this is a brief introduction of MDX. So this system is a very cloud-like, so multi-tenancy, and so this is also operated by the joint collaboration between the 9 universities and the 2 research institutes, including the NII and the AIST. And so they are located in the Kashiwa 2 campus. So this is also data platform, consists of the 2 parts. One is general purpose CPU with 368 nodes, actually the Intel Xeon Ice Lake, and also the 40 GPU accelerator node with NVIDIA A100, 8 A100 per node, and also the several kinds of storages. And one is large scale hard disk drive storage with 16 petabyte, and also the NVMe SSD storage with 1 petabyte. These both are the raster file system, and also there are the external shared object storage compatible with S3 protocol. Okay, so this is also introduction of the Science Information Network, SciNet. And also SciNet is operated by National Institute of Informatics. And so actually almost 1,000 organizations are connected by SciNet in Japan. And so, as you can see, there are large experimental facilities like accelerators or the linear collider, and also our supercomputers, and also the cloud vendors, and MDX, and another kinds of research data platforms, and also the almost all of the universities. And recently, tried to connect the elementary school and the high schools, and also the facility to connectivity for the mobile networks. Okay, so recently the SciNet was upgraded at the April timeframe. So the previous generation was 100 gig, but now 400 gig is available, and so Fugaku and our supercomputers are connected with multiple, actually 2 links of the 400G lines for each. Okay, and so this is user perspective. So if the Japanese academic user would like to use a supercomputer system, so several ways to use our systems. So one is HPCI is, and so this infrastructure provides a single sign-on system, and also the large storages, and also of course shared authentication mechanisms during the 13 supercomputer systems. And also as I mentioned, our supercomputer in Japan are the nationwide shared systems, and the users are not limited to those organizations. And so the main users are the academic users in Japan, including the faculty members and the students, and also the researchers. And so we can accept several another kind of users, for example, industries, and also the foreign users. But regarding the foreign users, they're limited to the export Japanese trading law. So we need some MOU or some kind of collaborations to issue the account for our systems. And so actually, most of the systems, paid system. So the users usually pay fee as a running cost, most of the electricity. And so in our center, so we can accept the first come, first served manner for the users. And so, for example, the cost of the usage is almost $430 per year for one node with 48 cores. So actually, this is the same as a Fugaku node per single node. Okay, another way is a national funding program supported by MEXT in Japan. And so in this case, the proposal based and the fee is not required free. So and so two projects are available. One is a HPCI and another one is a JHPCN. So actually, the JHPCN is slightly the fundamental research flavor, and so HPCI is some kind of production lab case. Okay, and also each supercomputer center has, as I mentioned, so its own research program, and also with several fees. Okay, and so yeah, recently, yeah, we provide 30% of resources spent for these national funding programs. Okay, so this is so just for information, so that we provided for the HPCI urgent call for the fighting against COVID-19 in Japan. So that this is 2 years ago. And so that we provided several resources for these kinds of project. And so most popular one is this virus droplet infection simulation in the room or the train or something with a mask or without a mask, or some wall or something. So these are very popular in Japan for the TV show or something. Okay, so this is just statistics in our centers. So we have very various kinds of systems, and also various kinds of instruction set and architectures. But also totally keep to the very high usage ratio. So please note that this is the average of the monthly average. So the utilization ratio is 90%, is very scary. So the users, in that case, users have to patient for 1 month or something for the very large scale jobs. Okay, and so this is also the assignment resources. And so green one is without fee projects, and the red one is paid projects. And so the slightly different ratio. And as you can see, in Oak Forest Park system, so the 2019 and the 2020 is ratio is very even. So this is because gap of the K computer and the Fugaku system. So many of K users moved to our system after the shutdown of K system. So actually our OFP was national flagship systems in that era. Okay. Okay, so the last part is our recent effort for the future supercomputing. And also we had several kinds of supercomputer systems, including the GPU clusters and the many core clusters, and also the usual Xeon clusters. And so as you can see, the various kinds of users can select the appropriate system for themselves. So for example, all forest parks is very, there are many traditional supercomputer users, and also in contrast, GPU systems are the users for the AI or deep learning type workloads. So what do you think about, what do we think about for the future of supercomputing? So this is a very famous buzzword in Japan, the Society 5.0. So the Japanese government defined this word, and super smart and human-centered society by digital innovation and by integration of the cyberspace and the physical space is a Society 5.0. So we would like to support this kind of application with our supercomputers. And so thank you. And so we introduced recently two systems. So one is a BDEC systems. So this is mainly for the simulations. Another one is as I mentioned, MDX systems mainly for the data analytics. And so I briefly talk about Wisteria BDEC 01. So this system was introduced last year's May time frame. And so the peak performance was 33. And so there are two types of node groups, and one is Odyssey, and the same architecture of Fugaku, but very small scale with 20 racks, but performance is almost 26 petaflops. And another one is Aquarius. This is GPU cluster. With 8A100 GPU per node with 45 nodes. And so I would like to skip. So we would like to tightly couple these different kinds of architectures with InfiniBand. And so the Odyssey part supports traditional computing, supercomputing, and the Aquarius part supports newer type of applications, including the data analysis and machine learning or deep learning. So we are now developing libraries and frameworks to utilize these systems. So one example is here. So the H3 Open BDEX project. So the left part is run on the Fugaku type node, and the right-hand side run on the GPU part. And so we are now developing the coupler. And so actually okay. Sorry. So yeah, in this project, we support PyTorch for the Aquarius, and also Odyssey can run the traditional photo applications by the coupler. Okay, so this is a brief example for the earthquake simulations with real-time data observation and simulation. So as you know, there are many earthquakes in Japan, so there are many observation infrastructures, and so this network is installed in the Wisteria BDEX system, so our supercomputer can directly treat this kind of sensor data. And so if the earthquake occurred, so so immediately the simulation can start. And so the several times after the several seconds, so the only the simulation can start. And so, for example, so this is so epicenter in the Niigata prefecture, and so we can estimate so seismic strength at the so Tokyo area. Okay, so this is and so the last I would like to talk about so our plan for the next gen of Fugaku. So recently we started the so feasibility study for the next generation computing infrastructure by Next, and so that we have so 4 survey research and study teams, and so last one is so I am a group leader, and so that we are now thinking about the next generation of computing infrastructures. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. Now we leave the
Sorry, 5 minutes.
We leave the floor for the presentation of Luis Choi from TEIN.
Okay, thank you. First of all, thank you for inviting me.
I cannot hear you. One second.
Just a moment. Can you hear me?
Now it's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. So first of all, thank you very much for inviting me to CARLA conference in Brazil. So today's our session is a very valuable and beneficial event to make the successful collaboration between Latin America and the Asia region, and of course the whole world into the future insight. Also, today I'd like to introduce for Asia Connect project in the Asia region. So just a moment, I can share my slide. Can you see my slide? Okay, so this time for me, for the title is Introduction of Asia Connect. So the Asia Connect is a project name. So just basically we can use of the TEIN, a Trans-Eurasia information network, just a cross-continental European region to Asia region too. Just a moment. Yeah, this is so and briefly so overview for the summary of our Asia Connect project. So just I already mentioned that TEIN is a Trans-Eurasia information network for just research and education network. Just we can use to make the collaborative activity between European region and the Asian region too. And so this project is basically a co-funded project from European Commission and from our whole Asian body. Just already 24 countries joined, and just a European region, European Commission, and 24 country body just co-funded the project too. Also, just now is just the total amount of our financial budget is 36.5 million around, and just co-funded and half and half, and just the balance is too. Also, this project is slightly have many history for make that. Yeah, so this is a history. So also in the TEIN is involved from international organization structure, just the Asia-Europe meeting, just we call the ASEM, just born within the 2000, and just continuously support from ASEM international governing structure. Also, TEIN 2 and TEIN 3 and TEIN 4 just successfully done. So also, we know that in Jiang, so anciently, the company name is Dante, and now it's a Jiang, the network name and the company name same. Just until TEIN 3, Jiang is involved and have made a successful project. And now in the TEIN 4, finished in the 2016, and now in the Asia Connect, just changes in the project name, depend on the European Commission's strategy. And so we know that, so Asia Connect, Africa Connect, just it's a continental naming is very benefitable to index for finding some regional projects from European Commission too. So especially our TEIN-CC is established in Korea for operating and managing for TEIN. And so after establishing TEIN-CC, and we involved in the TEIN 4 series and now. This is some summary of history. So TEIN 2, TEIN 3, TEIN 4, and the Asia Connect. So just you can see from my slide, just now very just amazingly increasing the network capacity for users, and now is up to 100 gig is possible to use it for our country body in Asian region. So this is continuously we have invested and involved, and so monetary fund to put for our whole Asia Connect project too. Yeah, this is our map, topology map too now, and so just a very broader region in the Asian continent, and so we have major 4 parts in the Singapore and Hong Kong and China and India too. Also in the Hong Kong is our network operation center located, just the main located the center area. And so also from China, and especially so just our one of speaker from Tsinghua University. That's our TEIN now is located in Tsinghua University too. So just globally co-work in the Asia Connect. So you can see from my slide and the topology map, and to European region, and the European region to Asian region, just so we can use in the around the 100 over the 100 gig is a European region to Singapore. And we already consist of a shaped ring, just so we call them the duplicated ring, just so we can across the via China and via India, as just many variety route for usage. Also, from our 24 Asian country body, just we know that the National Research and Education Network, just we call the NN. Also, I know that it's similar to call the Latin America, American, European region is the same NN, just a national research company or agency and the university too. Just a wholly cross connect in the Asian region to European region too. Also, physically and conceptually, just to connect and America and to connect Latin America too. Also, uniquely these days, we are concentrating for making the Pacific region, just in the center of the Guam, USA. Just we connected the cross and the Pacific, just as we know that, so centrally in the Guam to cross into Japan and the US, and from Australia and New Zealand, they're already connected to. And so just the Pacific region people, just they want to connect the many Asian country people, just research and students and laboratory staff too. Just is very important. And so we know that so Asian region, so many population is a very huge amount of number. Just already we know that India, in China, and Indonesia too. Many people, many students, many experts in the organization too. Just so they want to make the more increasing the cross-continental, cross-national collaboration activity for the full package in the Asia Connect project. So this is a network utilization sample, just until just compare 2022 and 2021. Just we are well known that due to COVID pandemic, just we wanna using the network capacity via our R&D network or some commercial network too. But this slide is just increasingly for the duration, the pandemic era, and so just over the 57% increase and over. Some slightly differently in the each our NM nations, just regularly numeric status for that. This is our platform and services, just content. Yeah, so I know that the CARLA conference is just emphasizing and researching for the high performance computing. And so it looks like a supercomputing use. And so just in the Asia Connect project, so we can provide many content, including the HPC platform. So also we have experience for researching and the activities in the HPC series, just using supercomputing for forecasting, analyzing the weather condition. Also just Europe to Asia, just cross-continental huge data analyzing, co-analyzing just for numeric, for the children, that's the amount of the tera, over the tera bytes modem, just and using our TEIN network, research and education network too. And then many content, in the medical education, research, science, and so biological matter, also including the disaster management and disaster forecasting content too. Yeah, this is our actual small project in our huge Asia Connect project too. So until for over the 5 years and 6 years during, so just we have made in the 87 sub-granted project contracted from our NM bodies, just until we have done the 5th corporate proposal, just a small project. Just a small project means that in the Asian region and the European region organization, for example, university and the research center, some other official organization, they can collaboration the project, and then our company and TEIN-CC, we can make the contract, the small project in the Asia Connect. Just whole totally that we have made in the 87 project too. But we can support to providing service and the activities from them, so that we can put some budget, and then we can support for and then we can providing some information to make the bridging European region company and the Asian region company together, and just to make the collaboration and sustain TEIN-CC, our company, and that we can make the bridging channel for that. And then so that we are improving the usage of our network TEIN. This is a participant status from our corporate proposal activities. Just yeah, many participants involved, over the 13,000 people, experts involved. So that you can see from my slide, just right at the pie graph, just LDC is just a risk development country means, just look like in the Sri Lanka and Bangladesh and many risk development country too. Just very meaningful. As I said, we can put and we can support for make the balance, development balance in the research and education network field too. Yeah, this is a benefit factor, just a balance and the equal development and the benefit too. I already slightly mentioned that. So uniquely, so these days the European Commission very and highly emphasizing for the women, just the women's empowerment. Just we know that, so slightly, so just the Latin America region is slightly similar. Just the women's and the empowerment. Just we can need more emphasize and need more support for that, like that, and build that. Just many people, just slightly in the Asian culture, just men upper level and upper position rather than women, just slightly in the traditional culture. And then just so we can, and the European Commission just very emphasize to just we make the equality and the equal chance to participating for our project in the future. So the women, so they can make the chance better than Asian. Yeah, this is a sample case. Just e-education. Just I can make some sample slides on today's table. Just during pandemic season, just our NN partner, NN nation, just a very fantastic activities during the pandemic season. And just this, we know that it needs more, just the usage of the network, because we cannot make the face-to-face meeting, and so we cannot go to school. Many nations same, and we cannot go to our office, and then the need for usage of network is very hugely increased. We already know that. We already understood. And so this is a very unique and fantastic and successful sample from them. But this case of the many LDC countries, and Bangladesh, and the Bhutan, Nepal, Philippines, Sri Lanka, and Thailand too. Just many East South Asian people collaborative activity for make the workshop and seminar together. Yeah, this is a comparison. Just learn from Sri Lanka. Just slightly, you can see from my slide, just a hugely increase in the 2021, and compare the 2020, just before 1 year, just a huge increase the usage of network capacity and traffic. This means is we didn't want to experience the COVID pandemic in the world, but this situation is very meaningful to using our computing power on the network capacity. And so just the HPC is based on the high computing and high network capacity is required to, 100% required to, and just sustainable and secure and powerful network required for researching in the HPC category and content. Just a basic concept, and just and then we can provide some very powerful network from official RNA network project too. Yeah, this is same, just uniquely, and then in the Nepal, just they can make some app service in the official web service for Nepal's citizen, just protection and the prevention the COVID pandemic in the region. Just Nepal and then just our partner, one of the partners, just so they can use of our network, the TEIN, in the Asia Connect project. This is a very meaningful. Yeah, this is a real meaningful project from our whole partner area. Yeah, this is a channel. It's the same, similar. This is Latin America, RedCLARA too, have many contact channels and some website and email and so Twitter and YouTube too. And so this like the international collaboration conference too. Yeah, so just yeah, uniquely the RedCLARA, just Luis and Maria and so many kindly my colleagues. Just, we met in the international collaboration conference. Just, we have many experience in the last in the TNC 2022 in Italy. Just Xinjiang to organize and hosted event in the European region. Also, Xinjiang is our big major collaboration partner. Also, just today's my experience in the today's conference, just Asia Connect and the RedCLARA project and over the continental is very needed and very highly required for the core successful project and just to make successful world combination collaboration project too. Just the APAN is the Asian region is a huge conference too, and the HPC, the CARLA is same too, and so just is a very meaningful international collaboration conference. I think that, and so Asia Connect on the behalf of the Asia Connect community. Just I'm a Asia Connect official project manager. Just I wanna increase and I wanna widen our insight. So for to find some more collaborative activity together. I think that in the near future that. Yeah. So today's my present is and just in the near future, in the future. So if you need more information and if you get more chance together, don't hesitate, contact me and contact my staff and or our company too. It's just we are always warm welcome to you and from across the world. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, Liz, we cannot hear you.
Now we are going to give the floor to the Professor Hawan Fu from the Department of Air System Science at Tsinghua.
All right. So can you see my slides?
Yes, we can see it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So thanks for the invitation to participate in this panel. So my talk is kind of more related to the application activities that we're doing on the Sunway supercomputers in China. As I'm from Tsinghua University, and I'm also working in the National Supercomputing Center in Wuxi. So running one of these Sunway supercomputers. So this is the Sunway Type Light supercomputer. So the name comes from this lake. If you are familiar with the area next to it's a big lake next to Shanghai. So this is where it's located. This is the big lake, and this is the city of Wuxi. So the National Supercomputing Center is located in this city, and it was designed to support the area around it to support, especially for manufacturing industry design, simulation, optimization, and things like that. So this is the machine we have in the center. Is a system with over 10 million cores. A pretty big system, but it's already in service for like close to 7 years. So we are currently also looking forward to a new generation of systems to replace this one. So one project I want to mention a little bit here is this. This might not be the official translation of this. I was just trying to I just put together these slides a few minutes before the session. So this is I think this is one project that the supercomputing centers in China are trying to put together what we call the supercomputing internet. And we already have a preliminary project started, sponsored by the Ministry of Science and Technology in China. We are connecting, I think it's 7 or maybe more than that, 7 national supercomputing centers with 100 gigabits per second network. And we want to achieve unified resource management among these national supercomputing centers. So among these different centers, we are building 3 application platforms. So one is, the first one is kind of more focused on the basic science research. So it's a multi-physics scientific computing application platform. The second one is more about molecular dynamic simulations for life science and material science. And the one that is hosted by our center is focused on providing an integrated computing platform for environment protection and natural hazard mitigation. So this is actually an ongoing project that trying to sort of combine the computing power of different centers for larger problems. Okay, so now let me just give you a few updates about the applications that we do on the Sunway supercomputers. The first topic is about climate modeling. This is actually probably the longest running project in our center. It started while we were still building the Sunway Type-Light generation supercomputers. So we were trying to, it was started in the summer of 2015. The first goal was trying to port this CES and the community climate model onto this new Sunway architecture. So as you can see, this is a pretty complex program that we try to put together, which includes both the atmosphere, the ocean, the land model, and the sea ice model, and we try to make it run efficiently on this new Sunway architecture. That was the starting point. And then I think this is probably after two years time after we port the program, we finally get to know the details about the science behind the codes, and we could do some redesign of the code to make it run efficiently on the Sunway architectures. So this is after redesign, we actually make full utilization of these 64 cores in each core groups in the Sunway many core processor. So this work was elected as one of the Golden Bell finalists in the year of 2017. As you can see, with high resolution climate modeling capabilities, we were able to accurately simulate the Katrina hurricane in the year of 2005. And then in 2018, we started to use this platform to support the climate modeling activity in our department. So this is a work that actually probably integrates the work from over 20 professors from my department. We have put together this community integrated Earth system model. And by running all these experiments, I think altogether it's like a simulation of climate of over 1,000 years, something like that, to participate in the CMIP-6 intercomparison projects and to submit the climate simulation results from Tsinghua University. And then this is the work starting from 2019. We are collaborating with the scientists from US, from NCAR, to focus on the work of a high resolution version of this climate model. So in this one, we were able to do a 25-kilometer resolution for atmosphere and 10-kilometer resolution for the ocean. And by using this climate model, we were able to do also a very long simulation of climate. I think it's like 500. It's a 500-year pre-industry simulation with high resolution setup, and then 250-year historical and future climate transient simulation, and using this high resolution setup, as I mentioned. So this is one of the improved results, as you can see in this slide. It shows the tropical cyclones that we can simulate, and these three different figures. The top one is the observation. The one in the middle is the results that we simulate use the high resolution model on our supercomputer, and the bottom one is the low resolution simulation results. And you can see by using the high resolution versions, we can get much more accurate descriptions of these tropical cyclones. And this is what we are trying to do recently on this new Sunway supercomputer. So this is like an upgrade from the Sunway Type Light supercomputer. So we are now trying to improve the resolution to even higher setup. So 5-kilometer resolution for the atmosphere and 3-kilometer resolution for the ocean. This is some early results as we compare the higher resolutions with the lower resolutions to see what results that we can achieve using these new models. Okay, so that's for the climate modeling. The second domain that I want to mention a little bit is this earthquake modeling efforts on Sunway supercomputers. So this is the work where we started nonlinear earthquake simulation on Sunway Type Light in the year of 2017. So what we did is through the collaboration with the earthquakes scientists in San Diego in America, and also the scientists from the Southern University of Science and Technology in China. So we have we have combined this new model that both it has two major parts. One is to generate the source, and the other one is to simulate the propagation of the seismic wave in a large region. So this is the first version on Sunway to compute this kind of large-scale earthquakes. And we have a lot of very good designs to really squeeze all the performance that we can get from that machine. And this was also selected as the winner of the Golden Bell Prize in the year of 2017. And since then, in the next year, we were trying to expand this software to describe more complex environments like these hills in the area of Sichuan province for the Wenchuan earthquake. We use a different numerical method to describe this complex surface topography. So and by doing so, we were able to do a very good, actually a high resolution simulation of the Wenchuan earthquake in the region of Sichuan province. And as you can see here, this is an animation to show the major seismic events of our simulation. So you can see the major events that go beyond this fault region, and you can also see the amplification in the basin region. And this is the most recent results we get on this new generation of Sunway supercomputer. And as you can see here, this is scaling to maybe around is close to 40 million cores. As you can see, the peak performance here is somewhere around 38.2 petaflops. So that's is a very good scaling from the previous generation to the next generation of Sunway supercomputers. And this is some results we get from the Ridge Cluster earthquake simulation. Okay, so that's for these two domains related to earth science. The third one that I want to mention a little bit here is about quantum computing. So this is a work we did last year, trying to achieve really efficient simulation of random quantum circuits on traditional supercomputers. And also as an answer to this quantum supremacy discussion. So in this figure, you could see this Google Sigma machine on the left, this quantum computer, which you can use to get a sampling of a random quantum circuit for 1 million times in 200 seconds. And as from the comparison in this paper, if you want to simulate the same process on the Summit supercomputer, it's going to take 10,000 years. So if you compare these two numbers, it's a gap of about 1 billion times. So in our work, we were trying to achieve a really high, efficient simulation of the quantum circuit on the new Sunway supercomputer. This is a figure to show the comparison between these two generations of Sunway many-core processors. So for the upgrade of the processor, we can see that the number of core groups is increased from 4 to 6. So we have more computing power. If you're looking at the double precision, is now this new processor is providing 14 teraflops of peak performance. But if you're looking at half precision, it can be 55 teraflops. So what we were trying to do is to map the simulation of the quantum circuit, which we do as a contraction of a tensor network, into all these different nodes of this new supercomputer, which has, I think, a maximum of 40 million cores. And of course, the contraction of the tensors, how you map this into this 6 core group, 390 core processor is also one of the design problem. So this is what the performance we have achieved on this new generation of supercomputer. So in the largest scale run that we try to simulate 100 qubit quantum supercomputer, quantum computer, we can achieve mixed precision performance of around 4 exaflops. Okay, so that's just some updates about the application developments on the Sunway supercomputers in China, and I wish this information could help our discussion to start some potential collaborations between Asia and Latin America on building supercomputers or on developing supercomputing applications, or maybe to form some large international science projects using these regional supercomputing facilities and software. Okay, so that's my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Fu. And now, finally, I will leave the floor to Patricio Rey, who is going to talk us about the Humboldt cable project.
Thank you, Luis. I'll put my presentation up. Microphone. Okay, there we go. Well, thanks for the invitation, Luis. It's been a long time. I used to be a computer engineer, but not anymore. So I just had 2 days with a lot of teraflops and processors. And I come here to present you a different thing, more related to digital infrastructure. This has to be a connection from South America to Asia. Right now, if you can see the world map, all the communication goes along the northern hemisphere through Europe. Few cables from Brazil that are the first ones, where also RedCLARA is present. But we want to have a direct connection to Asia through Australia or directly to Singapore. The cost of this is about $400 million, and it would reduce the latency to Singapore from 400 milliseconds to about 150, 140. And the cable with eight pairs of fiber optics will have about 144 terabits per second. What is this for? Well, one thing that is very important for us is to have a new gateway for Latin America, resilient gateway. All the data that goes from South America to Asia goes through the United States. It's not that we are not friends of the United States, but usually when you speak about networks, you need resiliency. And the current geopolitical is not very good for all the cables that are landing in the north, in the South China Sea. Who started this project? It was mainly the Subtel, that's part of the Ministry of Telecommunications, the Transport and Telecommunications of Chile, very supported by the former and current presidents of Chile. The CAF, the Development Bank of Latin America, that financed the studies that costed about $3 million. Desarrollo País, that it's the company I represent. It's a public company in Chile for the development of infrastructure, and the Ministry of External Relationships, Chile. And we found, we made an entire process to find a strategic partner who knew or owned fiber optic cable. There was H2 Cable that currently owns the Hawaii cable that goes from Oregon to New Zealand and Hawaii in the middle, and then to Australia. They are working with us as partners to do the different processes that need to be done to get a cable like this deployed. This is their company. They have the cable that I told you in white, and they are also developing another cable that goes from Los Angeles to Singapore and also Sydney and the South Island of New Zealand. In the digital communication world, the yellow nodes are the most important in the world. In Asia, you have Singapore, Hong Kong, and you have also Tokyo. In America, California, all the coast of the West Coast and also Virginia Beach and Miami and the East Coast, and Europe, England, and France and Spain and the other part. And in the red dots, you have the regional hubs in South America that are in the lower or lesser volumes. And all the data currently goes up, moves in the big trunk in the north, and then goes down again. So we want to break that logic with the cable that we are developing. What is the reason for this cable? Well, all that we have been living in this world in the last several years, been seeing growing tensions between China and the US. Usually cables from the United States landed in Hong Kong, but the FCC of the United States is not giving more licenses to cables to land in America if they go to Hong Kong. So they have been finding another route to get to Philippines and other places. So Singapore has been taking a special role, and also Sydney in those new cables that are going to be deployed. Also, the Taiwan and Ukraine crises haven't helped. So also, and above that, there are equipment bans if you get in different, especially Western territories. If you get to Australia, you cannot use Huawei equipment anymore. So there's a lot of difficulties to get all the world connected because it depends on local laws and politics at the end. Also, we all know that fiber optics are becoming the new highways. They are strategic infrastructure, and all the countries are putting them into the security laws. And we also have the menaces of natural disasters that also cut the cable that went to Tonga. So what is needed by the world? Well, they need neutral partners, neutral territories to give trust to everyone, new paths to make more redundancy, and more capacity to meet future capacity needs. We saw yesterday the trend of the energy use that the data centers and all the supercomputers wants to use. All that energy will translate in data that these cables have to transport. This cable transport the 95% of the internet data of the world. The potential routes for the cable are, we just launched an RFP to 3 of the cable constructors in the world, the main ones. One goes from Valparaiso to Tahiti and then meets with our partners cable that can get into Singapore and also Sydney and New Zealand. And the shortest route that this one is from in the bottom that gets also to Sydney and Kerrville in New Zealand. That is like about 9,000 kilometers. If you go straight from Valparaiso to Sydney, it's about 14,000 kilometers because you get the distortion of this projection of the map, and it's much easier to see it in Google Earth or in a round map. And to the Tahiti is shorter because you get only to the middle and have to buy capacity to reach the end. How would this look? Well, Desarrollo País will take some stake in the project it's developed, and we'll have financial institutions, our strategic partners, maybe some private partners, also countries from South America that are trying to get into the project. And we are having very good talks with Brazil and Argentina. Customers, 80 to 60% of the cables are used by the OTTs in the world. So those are important partners that we have to find, especially also research and education networks, CLARA, Reuna, and all the networks from parts where we are landing. And well, submarine suppliers and the banks that always finance this kinds of infrastructure. So there's a big puzzle that we have to put together. And hopefully in 2026, we will have the start of the service of the cable. And we would hopefully transport the data of all your outputs and big data that you get from your supercomputers through RedCLARA and being able to avoid using air transport to bring a lot of hard drives from one place to another. And that's the goal. It's a very ambitious cable and project. And we are in this moment getting the results of all the alternate routes that we send to the providers to get updated prices. And we are very, very confident that at the end of this year, we would be able to announce very good partnerships with clients and also with the providers of the cables that will be at the end constructed. This is my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Patricio. We are not going to have more time to have questions. So I just want to thank to all the panelists and let you know that we are already working to try to get capacity in this new cable. We are going to have several workshops to see how we are going to invest to get the connectivity with Asia. And we are very committed to this work. So thank you very much for all the panelists, for the invitation here in CARLA 2022. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.